Well, you go in there hoping you're going to get a split, and then you got control. You know, you control your own destiny with your home ice, and Nassau is not an easy place to play right now. So that's a real plus. The thing that concerns me is
throw it over to the conference final. We talked about game one, Tampa Bay and the Islanders. I had suggested that the Tampa Bay, the only mistake they made in game one was not showing enough respect to the New York Islanders. And in game two, I thought they showed a lot of respect to the Islanders because they weren't about to cough up the puck in the neutral zone like they did in game one.
Yeah, I was blown away by how well the Islanders forechecked in game one and really didn't allow Tampa to get it going, to get it. So when you can't get the puck going at your own end, you have a hard time playing the skill game and the speed game that Tampa want to play. And you know what? They got the puck going. So there's two ways to get the puck going. Number one, you have great positioning on your breakout. Number two, you wheel the puck. In other words, when it comes back and the D get it, they're in motion and they're wheeling the puck. And when you're wheeling the puck, you back your opposition off. So I thought Hedman, Sergachev, even McDonough took the ice that was there and started wheeling the puck a little more and then dishing off and making the plays. The other thing they did was they made some stretch passes in the neutral zone, and it really opened up the neutral zone. And they got a few breaks off it, a couple of goals scored off it. So I thought it started with their breakouts. Much better. The Islanders played well. The Islanders had a good, solid first period, but I didn't think they were in control nearly as much as they were. And I thought Tampa Bay adjusted and made some good basic adjustments to help them play a better game. And not to mention Vasilevsky stood in his head still, which is what you need every night in the playoffs.
Couple of breaks that we saw in the hockey game included a too many men on the ice on the Palat goal, Mac. And then, of course, the missed call on the cross check. That point goes into Varlamov. I just don't know between four guys, Mac, on the ice and how you can miss both these incidents.
Especially when they could have had a big bearing on the game. I mean, obviously the missed call and point, you know, when you've got four guys looking at the net, in all likelihood.
Where is somebody to sit there and go, no, you can't call this.
Yeah, that call really bothered me. And luckily it didn't throw the Lightning off. Point goes into the penalty box, and what does Point do? What he gets his 9th goal in his last 10 playoff games or something crazy.
Phenomenal.
So he's too much of a pro, and they're too much of a pro group to throw it off. By the same token, the Islanders, too many men on the ice. It didn't affect the play at all. It didn't affect the goal, but it still is wrong.
Lazy.
It was too many men on the ice, blatant and trotzy, and then they lost it. Did that affect their game afterward? I don't think so. I think they're pro enough to shake that up. But two calls that could have had amazing impact on the outcome of this hockey game. I mean, you always look back at those calls, but the best way to do it is you shake it up. But I'm telling you what, when you're on the bench and you're in the heat of the battle, it's damn hard to shake those calls off. It pisses you off so much that blatant calls are missed like that it drives you crazy.
And the play Kucherov made, which looked like a 1-on-3 with Barzal coming in to cut him off as well. And I felt sorry for Barzal. You can look at the video and say, hey, maybe you should have angled him a little differently, or you got caught flat-footed. But I mean, the shimmy that he put on all of them to set up a lot was all world class again by Kucherov.
Well, that was all world class to set them up with the great play and the great shift and the great shift of body weight and making that play. But what about the one-touch pass behind the net that he gave to Point in the slot and Point? Who better in the game today than Point in the slot? Whether it's a quick release or it's an extra move and go upstairs. I mean, we've seen two of them in the last couple of games, but what about the pass? So you got that pass. You got the shift move on Barzal and whoever else. I mean, it was an unbelievable performance by Kucherov with 3 amazing plays. Even the one to Hedman on the power play was a spectacular pass. So 3 big plays by your superstar, big goal by your go-to centerman and franchise player, and a go-to game by Vasilevsky in goal. I mean, the save he made when the score was 2-1, a couple of big saves, 3-1, a couple of big saves.
The stretch glove save.
Oh, unbelievable. I think it was Palmieri, wasn't it? Or Palmieri or Sajak?
Palmieri, I believe.
So it was a good performance. The fourth line battles, like you talk about the scrums and the face washes and the punches in the head. How many did we see? It terminating with the end of the game where we had a good little battle going on there. But the fourth line, the 2 ugly fourth lines that may be as good as any fourth lines in the league, the way they battled all night long with Clutterbuck, Martin, Cizikas, and then you throw out that fourth line, and it is ugly. Third and fourth lines of Tampa battled that fourth line all night long.
I think it's a good sign for the Islanders that you could almost leave a little disappointed on your effort or your result in game 2, but still go home on a split to go back to your hometown fans, tied 1-1 against the defending Cup champions. That's pretty good place for Barry Trotz right now.
Well, you go in there hoping you're going to get a split, and then you got control. You control your own destiny with your home ice, and Nassau is not an easy place to play right now. So that's a real plus. The thing that concerns me is Pajot. Where is he? It looked like he reached on that one play, and it was at the second period where it looked like he may have pulled his groin and he hobbled off the ice. Didn't play a whole lot after that. That matchup is critical. His line against the big line is critical. So Pajot has become such an important player. Is he going to be all right to play? Trotzy sort of indicated he might be, but that's a real question mark for me.
He's as valuable to them as anybody. When I go into the conference final, I'm like, okay, who's shaping up to be a potential Conn Smythe kind of guy in the running? I had him in the list.
I mean, he's been that good. I mean,
he has been that
good.
Good.
I thought he was a good player with the Ottawa. And when I saw what Lou paid for him and then re-signed him, I thought, Lou, what are you thinking? And then all of a sudden to watch how this guy has performed, again, a brilliant move by Lou Lamoriello, paying a price, picking this guy up. And all of a sudden, he gives them a whole different look because he plays the almost perfect 200-foot game, this guy. They rave about his positional play. He's never at a position, and he can also score, and he can win faceoffs. I mean, so talk about a valuable guy. So what's his health status? You know what the groin's like. It can be an aggravating situation. So I'm hoping he's going to be okay.